Hello, everyone. So, unless you've been living under a rock for the last few months, artificial intelligence has well and truly entered the chat, pun intended. We've developed an OpenAI extension here for Nintex Automation Cloud. I downloaded it this week, got familiar with it this week, so I wanted to do a quick recording to show you how you can get it into your workflows, but also how you can configure it as well, because I think that's some documentation that we're probably missing a little bit. So I came up with a bit of a use case. It's one that I have been using ChatGPT for in my personal life, uh, but this is definitely not a true story. So John, we'll say, is sitting having a quiet Sunday morning's reflection in front of the TV, watching his favorite sport. Now later in the day, he has a first, second, early childhood birthday to attend. And his partner is shouting from the other room, "What message shall we put into insert child's names who's having birthday card here?" And John replies, "Well, they're not going to read it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Just put whatever." But the partner insists, and John has got to take a break from his Sunday reflections to provide some literary knowledge. So I think we can help John here, and I think we can help him going forward for all of the greetings cards that he will have to write in his life until we get to a stage where artificial intelligence is reading our minds and knowing exactly what we want to do. So how do I get the extension? First and foremost, well, you're going to come to gallery.nintex.com. The link is in the description below. Jump to connectors down here. There's lots of other great things to look at while you're there. What's probably easiest is if you sort by newest. And after some of the featured ones, you will see this Nintex Automation Cloud meets AI. Really quick and easy. Download the connector, and it is available there in a zip. You'll then need to extract that zip. There's not a lot of instructions required here. You get your own AI API key. Follow the link there. And when you create that connection in Automation Cloud, you just need to pop in the word bearer with a space in front of the key that you've grabbed there. Now, it's worth keeping that link open as well because there's also a little bit more information in this help documentation that can come in quite useful. All right, so you've downloaded it, you've got your key. So I now want to jump to Nintex Automation Cloud. So if you don't have a Nintex Automation Cloud environment, you can jump on nintex.com, you can request a free trial, and you can have a play with this. Now, it's really easy to get those connectors in, the extensions that you build. So for us, an extension is just developing your own connector for Nintex Automation Cloud, which is pointing at open API specification. So lots of really good stuff out there that you can integrate with, provided there is an API that you can reference, and there's lots of great documentation on that as well. Now you'll see here I've already uploaded my API, so my OpenAI API is in there. I've given it its icon and naming convention, so I'm now ready to use that inside of a workflow. So I've sort of pre-configured a workflow already. All I'm going to do is just fill in the last blank here, but let's open up the form that we're going to use, and I'll share this form link in the description as well. So go to my design form, and I've got my greeting card message generator here. For those moments in life when you just want someone else or something else to come up with a witty or heartfelt message for a greetings card and get back to what you were doing. John can get back to watching his favorite sport. So recipient name, who is the card going to go to? Now it can be a person. In the case of a wedding, it could be a couple. The type of event, so that's just a single choice that we've dragged in and we've configured the event types. Now I'm just going to copy that one to the clipboard. The message tone, as you may know with ChatGPT, you can ask it not only to do message tones, but it could be in the style of as well. I've seen some very clever style of requests as well. I've got a little hidden control there, which is going to show if I select the birthday, it's going to ask for the age, which is quite specific to the request, which was just a number column that I've dragged in there. And finally, your email. So we want to send the message back to you. So that's all configured. Quick look at the rule. So the rule is pretty easy. It just says if the type of event is equal to the birthday in that choice control, then the age is going to be visible and it's going to be required. We want that age to go through. Otherwise, it's not. So let's have a quick look at that, make sure it works. There you go. Works quite nicely. So we can just go into my workflow. Now, I just need to add a third what if here. So I've got a what if, a run if the type of event is equal to birthday. So that little piece here is going to run. Otherwise, it's going to be ignored. We're going to create a text string. That text string is the prompt. So you'll see anything in blue here is a variable that's been picked up from the form. And then in and around is that plain English. Then we're going to call my instruct AI. So OpenAI set of actions there. We've got edit image, generate image variation, some AI sentiment, instruct AI, and list the AI models, these being the AI models. Now, there are a few other capabilities that you can look at with that OpenAI API. I'm going to choose the instruct AI. You'll see here we've already established a connection. So we do that back in the connections area, just on the left-hand side there. So as a flow, upload your extension, create a connection, and then it's ready to use in your workflow. Choose your model. The models are explained in the platform.openai.com documentation. Basically, different levels of accuracy. Prompt. What is my prompt? Well, that's my prompt there. I'm creating that in my text string. You've got your suffix, so anything that comes after the completion of the inserted text. Your tokens, the temperature to use, a higher volume. A higher value means the model will take more risks in its response. How many completions to generate? Well, we just need the one. Echo, stop the user, and then your output. This is important. So you want to generate an output that comes back as an object. So we're going to loop through that collection, which here is choices, and then we're just going to capture the output. So what I want to do is I'm just going to do a third run if here. So I could just copy, but let's maybe we will just copy for the sake of time. So nice and easy, I'm going to copy that group there and I'm going to paste that in. Got my group. I'm going to quickly change this one here. It's not wedding. This one is colleague leaving. So if the type of event is equal to my colleague leaving, I'm going to do this for a farewell card. Create a text string. So what do I want to say? So we want to write a something message, tone, humorous and sad and everything else. Write a something message to farewell my colleague, and then we'll insert start event from the form, the recipient name. So what that's going to do is to ChatGPT, that's going to pass, write a sad message to farewell my colleague Dave, whatever you put in there. Now the result is Q3, and that's my text string. So then I want to pass that Q3 text string, let's just delete that one, into the prompt. And that's going to be my prompt. And then I just want to change my output. So we'll delete that and we'll create a new output, which will be output 3. So I'll add a variable, create that variable, call that output. I mean, you could potentially call this output colleague, output message, but we'll call this output 3 and insert. So we've got a new object there. Then we're going to loop through that output. So let's go to my OpenAPI and insert choices, which is the name of the return from the collection from that object. And what I'm just simply going to do here is I'll remove that one as well. So the variable that I want is Q3 and the value is Q3. Let's just verify that I've got that correct. compared to Q2, yeah, Q2 text, and then it's just text because then I'm going to use that in the email. So it's just simply a value called text. So when we set that variable value, we're going to set that value text. So we'll just go through the loop, choices loop, and it's the text that's returned. Last but not least, I'm going to send this email, send a reply to, thank you for choosing, and finally, we want to get that variable we've just generated. Let me just put that on a new row. Okay. And files and images can be passed through too. We'll just quickly change the name of this so it's actually the answer Q3. So run if true. If the choice control equals colleague leaving, we're going to create that prompt, write a humorous sad message to farewell my colleague, recipient name. We're going to store that in Q3. We're then going to pass question 3 to ChatGPT. There's the prompt, there's the output. We're going to loop through that output collection. So for every variable, we're going to store the text. Now there should only be one. There's only one input, one prompt, so there's only one response. So we're going to grab that response and we're going to pop that in an email. Okay. So now we can publish. Greetings card connector. Now we are using the external forms capability here in Nintex Automation Cloud. So we're actually going to get the URL for the web form and the code to embed. So I'll copy that and I'll show you what I mean by that. So when I created my form, it's anyone with the form URL. So I'll pop that in the chat. You're more than welcome to have an experiment. So let's go to a new tab. Here's my message generator. All right, so let's generate a birthday message from my good friend David, whose birthday, yeah, it is 40th now. He better not go back through his birthday cards. He's a funny guy too, so let's pop that in and generate a message. So that's going to submit. That can then redirect, so you could redirect to any web address that you want to. So if I design my form again and I want to redirect to a specific URL, nice and easy, so I can redirect everybody to nintex.com if you're interested in a trial, and I'll republish that. So my workflow should now be in the final throes of completing. So if I go to my instances tab and have a quick look at my greetings card message, it's completed. It's done all of what it needs to do. It skipped these two because it wasn't true, but it was true for a birthday. So what I can now do is have a look at my greetings card message, which has been created here. So happy 40th birthday to David. Congrats on making it to the big 4-0. You can now officially tell everyone I'm not over the hill. I am the hill. So there's your humor at the same time. Have a play around. Hope you like it. Hope it saves you a little bit of time. Like hopefully it saves our friend John, who wants his Sunday mornings back. Enjoy playing around with this one. Bye for now.